because we don't understand how life formed, it is difficult to estimate this probability. The likelihood of a complex molecule like DNA being created by random collisions of atoms in a primordial ocean is fantastically small. In an infinite universe, it would happen in some places, but they would be very far apart. If we want to find advanced intelligent life, our best bet is to listen for radio signals.
Look up to the stars and the forest that surround. Do you see them? Do you hear them? Are they there? SpacedOutRadio.com presents S4 with Forest Moon Paranormal's Eric Cooper and friends. Also, take the time to join the Forest Moon Paranormal Facebook group.
I knew I should have made a left turn at Albuquerque.
Conspiracy, Area 51, Dogman, Ghosts, Cover-Ups, UFOs. The hidden will reveal itself.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Buckle up, space travelers. It's time to go live on S4 with Eric Cooper.
All right, good evening, S4. Very sorry for the delay. Our normal studio manager, Corey Ruiz, is out of town, so yeah, I get to run the studio tonight. And so we're in Mount Vernon tonight at my parents' house because they got awesome internet. And so yeah, we're having Skype issues. We do have Bonnie on the line for the Astral team, and Skype is such a pain. Couldn't figure out how to get people added in, so I can only get Bonnie added in tonight. We have Tony on standby, but anyway. So how's everyone doing tonight? So I do have the opinions and views of S4 do not reflect that of Spaced Out Radio or of the KTLK The Fringe, which are our affiliates. And on that, we do have trading coming up. Our first cycle of trading is coming up in on the 8th at 2 p.m. at Andy's Pizza for anyone local listening. And you know what? Without further ado, let's bring in Bonnie. How you doing tonight, Bonnie? Hey, we're not getting, darn it. Can anybody hear Bonnie and Donna? Yeah, you're not showing up through, hold on a sec. I hate this thing. I really do. So cable output. Let me figure this out real quick. Yeah, I didn't think it could because I'm not seeing any kind of output. Cable output. That should be fine. All right, keep talking, keep talking. Test 1, 2, 3. And I do hate technical difficulties with a passion. So yeah, and Paracon didn't help none because, well, yeah, I'm still recovering from Paracon. And you guys heard it first. Yes, I for the rumors that are spreading, I did shave my beard today. So don't feel bad, Joe. Don't feel bad. Yeah, and there's certain people that really aren't too happy that I shaved my beard, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's see here. I can hear you guys, but you guys aren't broadcasting through. I'm gonna try this. Talk again. Yeah, no, I can hear you guys through Skype, but you're not broadcasting through the studio. Yeah, yeah, Joe. I'm beardless in Washington. Um, I heard you are too, though. I heard your beard got lost. All right, and that's that. That's that. That's that. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. I know it's cable output, which I have to work through Skype on that. Um, so it is just me. I hear that. So okay. So if there's any questions about astral, yeah, um, on my own side, it looks like. Are you guys listening to the show, Bonnie and Donna? Uh, yeah. No, no, Joe. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Um, and that's what's killing me because I've got all the settings right. I ran this studio for almost a year before Corey took it over and had no problems. But now, let's try getting you in here now. Keep talking. Yeah, that didn't that didn't do it. It's my output into the studio here. Anyway, so tonight we're talking astral, and Forest Moon Paranormal is an emergency response team, as most of you know, but we do get new listeners occasionally. So any questions that come through, I'll ask you guys, and I'll relay the answers for tonight. Corey's gonna be back next week, um, and I'll figure out my studio end of it and make sure the studio is straight for next time we have to do this. But now, as an emergency response team, we work primarily. Yeah, tonight's topic, according to Joe, is how the hell does Skype work? Yeah, Skype sucks. Um, especially when you yeah, it's the bane of the internet. So we do criteria in that uh, the first of the criteria is always going to be children, child cases, and pregnant women. And I always get asked why pregnant women. Well, for two reasons. Pregnant women are already under stress from being pregnant, and you add paranormal to that aspect, well, you can have major problems. So they are always at the top of the chain, along with kids. The second reason with pregnant women is, well, there are entities out there that would love souls, and so you have to take. And they're still talking about beards in the chat room. Um, like I told Dave, I will have a new beard for Paracon next year, so you can tug the beard next year at Paracon. I could have a full beard within 6 months, so not too worried about it. Frankly, I just got tired of drinking coffee and having my beard, try to drink the coffee with me. That just didn't work. So yeah, this morning I actually tried to trim my beard, and well, it got gouged, so I just said screw it and shaved it. Uh, So enough of the beard talk. So with the Astral, now Tony is the team lead for the Astral team, and I know he's biting at the bit because he'd love to be on the show tonight. But yeah, with Skype issues, he went to bed. Tony went to bed. So announcement: Tony is now asleep. So he wouldn't be very good on the show right now anyway. Um, he's working all the time. So usually the team consists of Bonnie and Donna for the most part, and Graham Dunn is in the chat room. Outstanding. And yeah, he's probably mad because you guys aren't actually on the show. Uh, say again. Yeah, yeah. They give a shout out to Crystal and Graham, and I'm still tinkering with this thing. I do hate technology. Technology is great when it works right. When it works right. And let's see here. That didn't do it. That didn't do it. All right, keep talking. I'm watching my output, and yeah, I've got the primary microphone, which is why. No, you're not coming through yet. Okay, so that didn't do that. Anyway, we're wasting the show. Um, any questions about Astro, folks? Uh, go ahead and post in caps, and I'll ask the team, and I will relay. The other interesting aspect of what our team does now is stops alien abduction, which we've successfully stopped 4 cases. I'm pretty sure. You know what? We're going to blame it on Sam. It's Sam's fault that Skype's not working. So, for those who don't know, Sam is our Palladian that's on the team, and apparently he's shy. So, yeah, he probably messed up our Skype so that Bonnie and Donna couldn't talk tonight. So we'll blame it on Sam. Um, so when it comes to Astral, again, Tony is our team lead, and he's actually been on the Astral team with Forest Moon Paranormal for about 5 years, going on 6 actually. And he's been astraling since he was a child, so he's well versed in it. The thing with Astral is, one, it takes the distance out of the equation. We do cases in Australia, India, Africa, all over the state, all over North America, and well, we're global. So when it comes down to it, when it comes to the emergency response side, it doesn't matter where you're at, we can take care of it. And it doesn't matter if it's alien, if it's spirit, uh, other kind of entity. What we're going to try to do is check out Bigfoot from the astral. I'd be curious if he was an interdimensional being, if he would be detected from the astral or not. So these are some of the things we're looking at. So let's see. Okay, so Bonnie and Donna, have you ever astral traveled off planet? Yeah, yeah. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna try talking again. And now I'm not picking up at all. That's what happens when you mess with stuff while you're on the show. Hold on a sec here. Are you guys still there? Oh, are you still there? Bonnie and Donna, are you still there? Hello? Okay. Okay, can you still hear me? Okay. This is so irritating. So what Bonnie was saying was, sometimes they don't know where they're at because of dimensional hopping. If that helps you at all or not, they can't always tell if they're off planet or not. And sit here trying to figure this out still. So, yeah, and so Graham's in the chat room says, "Hi Sam, we met the other day," and yeah, you know, it's interesting because some of our clients can actually feel an off-world energy. Um, and in the one case where I know you guys thought the client would probably see static electricity charge from the battle that took place, um, but they can't always. Oh, Graham did, yeah. Um, and Joe's asking what happened to the duck. I figure you're referring to our guard duck at the Forest Moon headquarters. Um, Evening, Andy. Andy is our one of our resident Aussie listeners. So what happened to the duck? Well, the duck was she kind of got turned into food by probably a coyote or a cougar or a bear or something. She was excellent. She lasted for quite a few years. And Graham says he could taste the dragon smoke. So I need to get this fixed for the final hour for sure. So I'm going to go into Skype and check my settings for the output and try to get you guys on the show. Yeah, we might get cut off. Yeah. Okay. Try talking again. No, they can't hear you. Cable output. I know it's cable output. Um. So on that note, folks, we're going to go to a commercial break, and in the meantime, I'm going to try to figure out this cable output issue, and we'll see where we go.
Hi there, this is Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, and I want you to come on a nightly journey. Starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, every Monday through Friday, you can come hang out with me and the other space travelers. We have it all from Carl the Alien bouncing on by to those misfit gnomes causing havoc. It's 3 hours of fun and entertainment on those topics the mainstream really doesn't want to touch. Come get all paranormal with us at spacedoutradio.com, and together, my friends, along with our resident guitar god Bumblefoot, we own the night.
Become more intimate and interactive with Spaced Out Radio. Join our Space Travelers Club with your new membership. For $5 a month, we'll provide you with special access to the website, monthly prize draws from books to psychic readings, along with monthly newsletter, private interviews, and more. Sign up today to be part of Spaced Out Radio's experience.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
This is Eric Markham, news editor for the Spaced Out Radio's The Encounter Online. We have put together a great team of writers and journalists from all over the world to bring you top-quality paranormal stories, from alien encounters to the latest conspiracies. You won't find any of that fake news here. True stories and top-notch reporting as we look to bring these experiences to the mainstream. The Encounter Online, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Do you want to know the truth? Do UFOs exist? Are aliens real? Are the governments hiding the biggest secret in history? We're UFO seekers, and we're on a hunt for the truth. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow along with us as we journey across the United States, visiting UFO hotspots and alien hotspots, trying to document the UFO phenomenon. Catch us on Spaced Out Radio every third Monday of the month as we discuss Area 51, UFOs, and more. And also, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube.
The SOR Sightlines is a place for you to find answers to your strange experiences. Hi there, this is Mike Schmidt. If you have had an encounter with ghosts, UFOs, Bigfoot, ETs, or anything else that doesn't make sense, head to spacedoutradio.com and file a Sightlines report. All information you give is 100% confidential, and I will personally help you find the answers you need. SOR Sightlines, your answers are a click away.
Welcome to Spaced Out Saturdays with me, Dave Cruz from Beyond the Strange. Our weekly feature on spacedoutradio.com will take you around the world discussing everything from the paranormal to the latest conspiracies from the top guests in their fields. We won't leave any story uncovered. Spaced Out Saturdays at spacedoutradio.com starting 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
It's Cosmic Sundays with me, Elizabeth Anglin, in Cosmic Passport. Let me take you down a 3-hour spiritual journey where we will get into everything from ET contact to Psychic Sundays. It's a journey of listening and learning together with some of the best professionals in their fields. You can tune in to Cosmic Passport at spacedoutradio.com every Sunday starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern.
The views and opinions expressed on tonight's show by tonight's hosts and guests are not necessarily those of Spaced Out Radio, Spaced Out Saturdays, Spaced Out Sundays, or spacedoutradio.com. Listener discretion is advised. And now back for hour number 2, we have Corey Ruiz, Eric Cooper from Forest Moon Paranormal, and S4. You can find Forest Moon Paranormal on Facebook. And for more information on S4, visit spacedoutradio.com. And now, here's Eric Cooper and Corey Ruiz. Hi there, this is Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, and I want you to come on a nightly journey. Starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, every Monday through Friday, you can come hang out with me and the other space travelers. We have it all from Carl the Alien bouncing on by to those misfit gnomes causing havoc. It's 3 hours of fun and entertainment on those topics the mainstream...
Okay, folks, I think we fixed it. Go ahead and talk again, guys.
Hello, this is Bonnie. Can you hear me?
Okay. That's weird because now I can see you talking, but I'm not. Are you guys hearing them?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, there we go. So I think we have our output fixed now. Is our listeners hearing? Can you guys hear Donna and Bonnie?
Hello, everybody.
There we go. All right. So we also have Tony in the chat room. So outstanding. Now we can go. So what got you guys into the astral?
Well, you guys did a case for me where I was having some entities and problems with being attacked. And I mentioned to you that I could do it, but then I kind of accidentally stumbled into one of your cases, remember? Of a man and it was a Korean case. And I promised him I would go to him, and I hadn't asked for it since 2011 because I'd only done it about 3 or 4 times. That was the 4th time, I think. And then after that, get out. What are you doing here? You need to leave. But I couldn't. I didn't have my phone or do anything like that when I asked him. But y'all must have protected me, and you took care of the case. And then you asked me to go to your astral school. Then I did.
Excellent. And and I'm pretty sure we're going to get this question from our listeners. But what's the most interesting case you've done?
Oh boy, Donna's really put her answer that one. Oh, well, that one's kicked her butt.
Hey, you guys
well, one of the first recent curse we worked on was a really complicated. It was getting physical with us and stalking us, and we were having to, cloak and really hide from it. And actually did get through and get a hold of Donna one night, and that's the night we called in extra artillery, and it was destroyed. But that took a while, about 5 or 6 days, and the way it worked, and the way it had worked that family, I think the family's writing a book on it now because it's been going on. It's a generational curse from Italy.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Italy is full of alien abduction. It's full of UFO. There is a lot of history with Italy in general. I mean, dating back to the very beginning. So it's really interesting. And so most of us in the team are pagan, and so on the pagan side of it, the Italian witchcraft is called strega. You guys know much about that one?
I don't know too much about it. It was kind of the first one we dealt with since I've been on the team.
Right. So. And yeah, for those who are listening, yes, we do break curses. It is very hard sometimes, especially when they're generational bloodline type, versus just your normal everyday dabbler that says, I'm going to put a curse on you. And yeah, well, those are much easier to break than generational from family ties. The easiest way to explain is if you ever seen the movie Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead was actually a creature that was created by a curse. If you haven't seen that movie, it's a really creepy Halloween type movie, and based on a generational curse. In the movie, anyway, it's not. I don't think there's any fact to it, other than that indeed there are creatures that come out of generational curses. So we don't really have much of a schedule set for S4. We will. I'll be working on that this week. But for sure, October 28th, will be our Halloween show.
Oh, nice.
We'll be doing the Halloween show on the 28th, and we're going to discuss basically, do cases increase on Halloween or not, and what makes Halloween so creepy. So don't miss that show. Again, for anyone local, we are doing training on the 8th at Annie's Pizza at 2 p.m. We already have like 4 or 5 new people that are interested in jumping into the Boots on Ground team. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so Crystal wants to know what's the most difficult thing to do in astral.
Healing's pretty hard in some cases. Combat's not hard, and it's gotten easier since we have Sam on the team. Trust me, he's I don't want to say he's made our life real easy, but he has made it a lot easier for us. And but yeah, healing is harder. It depends on the client. Usually it's not, anything's not been that hard lately, you know. I mean, the worst is the type of cases. It goes like the depth of the case. You know, if the case is a hard case, it's a demon, it's a high-powered demon. We had a demon which recently attached to a child his whole life and from a past life. That was a little hard, but we were able to take care of it. So it's like different levels of things, you know. Entities aren't too bad. In spirits we can usually deal with and without having, you know, we don't combat them. We might try to force them over if they're being real bad to a family and causing, you know, all kinds of problems and stuff in the home. Then we will have our guardians force them over, but we don't harm them like we would an entity or a demon.
Right. And good question coming from Joe is, do you bump into other people from other places while you're astral traveling?
I bump into Donna a lot. Yeah. No, I don't see a lot. I have on occasion seen others, but not often. I don't. I guess I'm too focused and I'm going straight to this place and just takes seconds to get there, and then I'm into what I'm doing right there. But no one else astral has ever showed up at a case that's not an entity, a demon, or a spirit, or an alien.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for us to get to do the crypts because I would like to see and work with that. I haven't worked with any yet. I felt their energy once, I'm pretty sure, on a case, but that's been about a year ago.
Right.
So I'd like to see what we can do with those and make contact, and if we can communicate with them in the astral or physical plane, you know. Probably not the physical plane, but astral.
Now, yeah, I'm thinking here. I'm going brain dead. If you have questions, folks, put them in caps so I can catch them easier. I know somebody had a question earlier. So how is it when you're traveling to other countries?
No different from traveling 10 miles from your home.
Okay.
It's the energy we connect to. So as long as we connect to a picture of a place, or we connect to a person's energy, we can get there. No harder to me.
Okay. Now explain the technique. Now, folks, everyone that astral travels does it differently. Some do it by pictures, some do it by. In fact, one common method we use on the team is get an address, Google Map it, and get a lock on the location. So how do you guys do it?
Light view and pictures to get to them. Sometimes just the pictures, and I mean we can do it without an address. But the thing about getting an address is we like to look at it, come in and look at it, you know, from the satellite view sort of, and it may give us some hints if there's some portals around or some strange things going on in the property. Gets us a better look at that. We'll still feel it when we get there, but we like to look at it from that. I do the satellite view, and the more pictures the better. But we really a few good pictures, you know. And if it's only some people won't let you have their address, they just send a picture of the person having the problem, and we can still usually get to them and figure out what's going on and fix it.
Right. And we do get that, folks. We get because we have a pretty extensive questionnaire that gives us enough detail to know what's going on and handle it. But you get people that, I don't know you, I don't want to give you my address. I'm like, okay, well, there's only so much we can do to help you then. So
without any of that, it's kind of hard, you know.
And again, we can usually, like you said, lock into the picture and go from there. Graham wants to know: do you need to make travel back to your body, or is it automatic when you're finished?
Usually, it's pretty automatic. I mean, we can play around out there. Sometimes we might go from one place to another, so we won't have to come straight back to our body. We'll be out doing maybe several things at once.
Well, and to address that as well, we have safety protocols with the team, Graham. Usually, the team will make contact with the headquarters up in Concrete, go to the client, handle their business, come back to the headquarters, touch base, and then go back to their body. And we do that so that they can't get followed. It protects them from any entities that try to track their energy. Because at headquarters, we are heavily fortified. We are heavily protected. So if anything does come back, and we have been attacked before, but it's just safety protocol for the team.
Yeah, it makes it a lot better that way, for sure.
Because protection of the team is first and foremost, because we can't help you if our team is hurt or under a threat. So we have safety protocols that we use in place. So how is it now working with Sam, now that we have a Pleiadian on the team, versus before?
It's cut the time. I mean, he can do anything we can do twice as fast. He has, his methods and we have our methods, but we're learning from each other, He's pretty quick and to the point. I have to kind of hold him back. We've learned to let us see what it is at least before he uses his lasers and it's gone. They're obliterated. We had one case where I couldn't find out what it was because it was so quick, and Donna had told him to protect me, and we landed and looked at each other, and boom. What is it? I'm like, I don't know. He got it too fast.
Yeah, that was interesting because before Bonnie could even have any remote idea of identifying what we were dealing with, and that's one thing. You go to a location, you have to identify: is it a spirit? Is it an entity? And where did the entity come from? Because he might have friends, or he might have there might be a portal, there might be another way for something else to come in, and yeah, before Bonnie could say anything, Sam had already destroyed the entity. So we had to kind of rein Sam in just a little bit, at least identify it, and then take care of it. The last boots on ground case we did, I thought was great because, and for those that didn't hear about that case, we actually were able to validate the astral team, our boots on ground medium, and actual technology, which was really cool because first we sent the medium in. She came back and said something had run away, and she kind of looked puzzled. So it kind of, one of two things may have happened. One, it was running away from the astral team when they went in initially. Two, it was hiding, which things hide, and there's things that they cannot get picked up from the astral all the time. And I'll get to your question in a second here, Crystal. But so we sent in Corey with the EMF meter, high readings, but they were pegged out at the attic. So I asked the client, so what's in the attic? He had never been in the attic. So I called Bonnie, and astral team go in and focus on the attic. Well, you couldn't even describe what was in the attic. I remember that, and so then we kind of have another protocol of what do we do? Do we pass over a spirit? Is it a spirit? what is it, where did it come from, and how do we remove it? And well, same thing doesn't work. And we waited about 20 minutes, went back through. All the EMF readings were back to normal. So, that's validation right there, especially when your medium goes through and says, yep, it's all clear, there's nothing else here. And then, of course, we were followed and had no idea what was going on, but our medium was getting nauseous. And that's when you called, Bonnie, and said there was something following us. I was like, huh, well, that explains the nausea. So it's great having a sensitive on the boots on ground team that the astral team can validate.
Well, those cases, it was the first time I've done very much boots on the ground with you guys, but it went really well. We did 2 or 3 cases that day.
Yeah, that was no, we did about 5 because we had the 3 boots on ground, and then you guys did an additional 2.
Yeah, I forgot about 2 of our own too. Just astral, yeah. It's been busy.
Oh yeah, and that's our norm. I mean, there are days we do about 3 cases, but our general average is about 5 a day, give or take.
Yeah.
So Crystal wants to know, do a lot of people see colors in astral, and do your guardians join you in combat sometimes?
Our guardians all the time go with us in combat. Yes, they're right there with us. We're with them working together. And colors, some people have certain astral colors. I see a lot of gray, black, and blue. And sometimes I can see a full apparition of a ghost or something just as well as they looked almost when they were living. But I see the energies. I can see the forms of them, like if they have teeth. If they have white teeth, sometimes I can see them showing up, or red eyes, but I don't see like all the colors like of the cabinets in the house that much like Carney can do. Carney's more I can see what's there, feel the energy, and kind of describe it. But as far as every little detail, I'm not as detailed as some of the ones that have been doing this longer. But I'm working on it.
I know Tripp had a question earlier. When are we going to do a basic course? Well, we haven't set up an actual date for a basic course, because what I would like to do is get a nuts and bolts astral class together for those that don't know anything about astral, teach them astral, and then they're ready for the advanced course, which is what we teach now. The prerequisite for the course we do teach is you must already know how to astral, and you must know how to shield. And then we teach you the defensive, the combat, how to protect yourself, that kind of thing. So we are going to eventually do a basic course, because ideally I'd like to have astral teams for all the GPI, the Global Paranormal Initiative we're setting up, and they'll work for us, and they'll be attached to other paranormal teams, and that's the way we'll set that up. Are you still with me, Bonnie? And you guys got cut off, didn't you?
I had to come back for a minute there. I'm back. Bonnie.
Okay, there you go. Good.
There we go.
Okay,
hear what was going on.
So Joe wants to know, when you astral, let's see, when you astral travel, do you see the world like it appears in real life? Doors, cars, people, chairs?
I see the world in the houses and the places like that fairly clearly. It probably is a blurred vision than compared to straight-eyed vision. If you're right there at the Eiffel Tower. I've been to the Eiffel Tower. I didn't bungee jump off it though, but I did go to as a lesson, and I could see it really clear, and the people pretty good there. Looks like it looks. I guess if you visit it.
And I gotta add to that, because it's funny, because everyone sees different.
True.
And Markham, when he initially asked for help, we pretty much proved that we were real when Tony called him and said, "Yeah, you've got a portal in the second closet in your back bedroom."
Yeah.
And Mark was like, huh? What? How do you know that? And
Yeah.
you know, we pretty much prove the accuracy with clients when we describe their home to them. You know, you can't Google map the inside of the house. You can
No.
only see the outside. So when you're sitting there describing the floor plan and the layout of their house to them, it pretty much proves that you are in their home. You actually, you know, wow, look, you haven't done your dishes in about a month.
Yeah.
You know, you can see that kind of stuff. Um, so we have another question coming in from Joe. Do you walk around an area or do you float or fly?
I fly. And then I walk when I get there. Into the house, in through the walls, and through the doors, down the halls, and in the bedrooms. That stuff I can make out. The kitchen, you know, I know where I'm at in the house, in the bedroom. I'm just not so good on seeing, you know, the dirty dishes or the color of the curtains, you know, because I guess it's the looking at something else. I can walk through, and if Tony tells me to go down and check the second bedroom on the right, I can go know what he's doing. He see me do it, you know, and I can see him, you know.
And
So yeah,
and thankfully, I don't think you can smell in the astral. But if they had a month's worth of dirty dishes, yeah, you'd probably be gagging. But
smell like entities and demons and stuff like that. Once in a while, we'll get a smoke smell of something that's not dragon fire, or you know.
Right.
But normally, I don't smell that much, but I can sometimes. We had that case overseas. What was that one, Eric? When me and Donna both stopped short and started vomiting. We astral there, we couldn't go. We stopped. That made us do that from now on as a practice, just for safety. But it was a demon that Tony had to go in and take care of. But it was the first one, her and I working together, along without our old teacher Jamie or anyone or Tony with us. And then stopped us short, right? We were hovering there, and boom, we were both really going up in the physical world.
And that one, if I remember right, was a New Zealand case, wasn't it?
And that's it. It was a New Zealand case.
Yeah.
And then we got Tony, and he went in there and cleaned it up, and then we did fine after that, from what I've heard. But yeah, that one stopped us short. It was the first time it happened, and we were literally physically vomiting, so we couldn't keep ourselves focused in the astral, and we had to leave. And it's a good thing we did, because it was a powerful demon that we might not, you know, it's lucky you just wanted to make us vomit.
I'm sorry. I'm sitting here dying because Tony's sitting there in the chat room talking about sandwiches.
And I'm talking about vomit.
No, well, sandwiches is a very long-standing joke in Forest Moon Paranormal, and we won't even get into it. But oh, okay. So yeah, make me a sandwich, Tony. Anyway, Graham wants to know. My partner wants to know how you start the astral travel.
I usually do it by meditation, and ideally, I have a few minutes. That's not always the way it works anymore, but I can just jump out of my body now. But in the beginning, I started through meditation and entrancing, and then leaving my body and going to a destination. That's the ideal way, but for me. But now it doesn't take. I mean, I can do it as quick, but it's fast. I mean, if someone's being attacked, I can pretty much give me a picture, a place to focus, and go. You know, and I skip all those things. But I stay shielded pretty heavily all the time, and cloaked a lot of the time too, depending on what we might be coming up against at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Good questions, folks. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. So go through a basic alien abduction case. How do we stop it? And start from the beginning all the way to the end.
Oh, you're gonna make it hard on me.
Well, I am, because this is a new thing Forest Moon's been able to successfully stop, and I'm happy about that, because you know I've been in the UFO abduction field since '94, and the best you could do in '94 until this year is try to get abductees into some kind of support group, because there wasn't anything you could do to help them. And it's frustrating. And what's even more frustrating is the fact that about 90% of the other paranormal teams out there don't even see UFOs and abduction as a paranormal issue. And so where do these people go? Prior until now, you've got experiencers that are terrified because they get pushed down the stairs by a spirit. Well, you can remove a spirit. But then you got the abductees who are being taken, sometimes 3 times a week. And, until now, there's nothing to do to help them. But now we are actually being able to stop it. So go ahead and go through a typical, well, there is no such thing as typical, but go ahead and walk us through an abduction case.
Well, in an emergency, this will be an emergency abduction to start with. With that, DJ won't care if I say, but there were some abduction problems in her family, and she shouted out to us. I think the whole team came that night. Richard was there. I'm not sure if Tony, but it was a lot. Tony was there, and Isabella was there. That was the night we had the reptilian that was taken out that needed to be. But it was like gangbusters here, and it was Mortal Kombat, basically. We were, fighting ourselves, and our guardians were fighting too, separately. There were mantids, there were reptilians and grays, and maybe something else out here on her property at the time. It's nice to be here now knowing that they're all gone after coming here astrally before I came here and seeing what it was like. It was crazy. And some of them were ministering to, like, her husband and her, because they had a very bad time during the attack, and we were taking care of them. I was able to guide her to the place to get her husband, and she physically took him back with the guardians fighting the aliens at the same time in us. And so that was pretty hectic and pretty crazy. It went on for probably an hour or two that time. That was before Sam now. Sam
That's actually the case that brought Sam to us because, folks, the team was fighting 5 different races. Like Bonnie said, the reptilians, the mantids, the grays, a slug-like race, and and an energy race that we still don't know is transparent. That may have been the Pleiadians observing. I don't know, but once they described the red reptilian, if you know anything about alien races, you know the red reptilian is like the second in command to the white reptilian, which stays on their planet. So I told the team, target all your energy in killing that one, because you kill that one, you're going to make them all fall back. That's a typical strategy. So Izzy and Tony actually were able to kill the red reptilian. And then the team was kind of freaked out because they noticed a cigar-shaped craft was actually coming towards where they were. And the cigar-shaped craft, later we found out, is the Pleiadian battleship. And we caught the attention of the Pleiadians and the actual alien consortium, and they're now allies of us, and they sent Sam. And that's where Sam came from, and we actually have a picture of Sam.
Yes, we do.
Sam took a selfie with Donna's camera.
Yes, he did.
That was cool. So
he wanted to make sure it was undeniable, I think. Nobody could deny the fact, that he was here. And it was a pretty darn good job he did there. But, Sam is showing up now, protecting some of our families. Tonight, my daughter described him. She's down in Florida. I'm still here. She was feeling some things going on in the house. She usually contacts us, but before she could contact us, Sam was there.
And I want to clarify something, because you told me a couple weeks back that one of Sam's actual missions is to try to expose people to aliens, that there are good races out there.
Yes, that's his job. That's what he's doing. He wants to help the human race. And he's helped us. He's like, I'm one of the team members. Just hired me.
No, Joe, we're not going to post this picture. I will share it with people we trust, but we're not going to post it. It won't be posted publicly. One, for security's sake.
Right.
And Trip, do you usually have members outside of location? Also ask for security. it depends on the situation. Again, we will do recon. It depends on. So when I get a case come in, I'll do an initial assessment. Is it a spirit? Is it a typical haunting? Is it alien related? I have certain protocols I look at, and depending on the severity of it, I might send one of the team members just to shield and do a recon. Is it a strong, malevolent entity presence? Then we'll send the full team in. When it comes to alien, they'll shield and go in, and if there's multiple aliens there, that's a team call. We'll send the entire team in. It's going to be full combat. So it depends on case by case. If we send in security for the outside of the actual location. And now that we have Sam and friends, because now we're finding that if Sam needs backup, he has full access to as many off-worlders as he needs. So, yeah, I don't think there's if we need security at a site, we will have security at a site. That just goes without saying.
Yeah, and that's really nice because it's so much easier and safer that way. When he starts bringing in his comrades, things start getting out of there in a hurry. Where we would have had to, combat like we did that night here. We had a couple combats here before Sam. We had two, I think, and the second one's when Sam, I think, showed up, and then he actually presented himself to us a little while after that as showed up to help us, like I'm here. We're like, okay. I said, don't hurt my Palladian because I would hurt an alien near her because I would have not had any positive experiences yet and anything like that. Generally, we would not even hesitate to take it out or try to. So, and I said to him, don't worry about it. I already met him. His name's Sam. Because I'm home. I had like a telepathy thing with him, and I couldn't understand his name. So I said, oh, but we call you Sam. And that's not my name, he said. But I said, we know. He goes with it, but I guess, he doesn't like it as well. We should learn how to do that language and figure out how to say it the way he does. But it's a little different.
Okay, and Graham wants to know if Palladians vibrate at a higher frequency, right? Is that why we don't see them? And yeah, your more benevolent races do vibrate at a higher level. The lower the level, usually you find your malevolent entities, the negative beings.
Right.
So, and that's why anytime we get an abduction case, we will raise the vibration of the abductee themselves, because that kind of keeps the malevolent races from. Yeah, that's it. So we're looking at Sam's picture now. And I haven't gone through my. So rumor had it that Sam was supposed to try to take a selfie with my phone at Paracon. I haven't gone through my Paracon pictures yet, so I'm not sure if I'll be surprised or not. We'll find out.
We'll go through him because you don't know. He's very capable.
Yeah. Krista wants to know, what is the worst you have to deal with on the aliens?
They're up to me.
No, I think she's talking. So, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. If I remember right, we did have in fact, I think it was at your house, Donna, where you got struck by some kind of device that actually knocked you out.
Yeah, some kind of something. That was during one of the alien things. It was some kind of stunner that she was actually typing in our chat and made some sense, but she don't have any remember or recollection of any of it. But she was actually performing to some degree, but she was taken down a lot.
Right. And they do have some high-tech technology. I mean, oh my God! I know you guys were talking about the tech that the aliens had at a recent case that we did.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they have some. Which one was that? Trying to think.
New York.
We had the two here. Then we had another fellow that I don't know if I was on Jefferson, but I shouldn't mark maybe use names. But trying to think of the one that they have high tech equipment, laser type stuff, a lot of electrical looking things. And then when they're done with something, it's just, gone. It's a little easier than the sword fighting deals that we were doing. But we've gotten above that a little bit and a lot more energy things ourselves. We use hot. They don't like hot. They don't like cold. But, since Sam's come, we haven't had to use those techniques because we were having to produce remote snowstorms in the area in the astral plane. And then the heat. And then we would get them kind of paralyzed, and then we could attack and take them out. But now he just does it, and now that they know he's working with us, pretty much when we show up, not much combat going on with us personally, because he's bringing in his and doing it, And it's quick and over with, or they leave.
Okay, so Trip wants to know if we've ever heard of a Black Ops Astral team. To be honest with you, that was, when it comes to the Astral, I'm really not sure. I know they had the remote viewing program with the CIA that was also used by the military. What I'd like to find out is one day if we go Astral to some of these top secret locations and see if there's actually a team out there. That'd be the only way to, know for sure.
Yeah.
Go to like HARP or Air 51 or something like that and see what you encounter. Do I want to risk the safety of the team with that one though? I'm not really sure. Which is why we haven't exactly pursued it. Not to mention, again, we have a heavy caseload to where, people in crisis are more of a priority than looking at top secret spots for now.
Yeah.
And Joe's got a challenge. If any of you listeners are bored, if you have the ability to astral travel, it would be interesting to have you travel here right now. Tell me what you think. It's an actual photo of me if that's what you need. And I'm not sure where he's putting this picture. So Joe's in California. I can tell you that much. Okay. So Graham wants to know what's the difference between remote viewing and astral travel. Well, remote viewing, you don't leave your body. You actually just leave your mind. With remote viewing, you usually have a handler. The handler gives you grid coordinates, which I have a sneaky suspicion, I can't prove it, it's a theory only, my opinion, that the grid coordinates that they are given are possibly astral travel, or, grid coordinates in the astral plane. Not sure. But basically with remote viewing, they can view only. It's not interactive. You can't do anything but view. Your presence can be felt by the person you're viewing to a degree. Now, with astral travel, say again?
To me, remote viewing is kind of like what we do in recon. But sometimes we will break in and do something else, like shielding and.
Right. Essentially, but the big difference is the fact that there's no safety factor with remote viewing because they're not actually leaving their body. It's like a mental projection. Astral projection, you're actually leaving your body and going to a site, going to a location, and you actually are combating interactive. All your senses are available. Whereas with remote, I don't think. I mean, they can obviously see, but I don't think they can actually interact with all senses. So that's the difference between remote viewing and astral. And we've gotten into this discussion many times on Spaced Out Radio because Dave kept calling us a remote viewing team. And I would properly correct him. Like, no. And then I explained why. Because astral is a whole lot more than remote. So it's kind of a, we're astral. So that's the difference, and that's why I see it as a big deal that we're not remote viewing. Do we sense any weirdness around his place? I think Tony might be astraling over to Joe, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So, Joe, do you have any owls out right now? And it'll take a minute to answer, but for those that listen to Spaced Out Radio, Joe has a lot of strange activity at his house all the time. I believe Joe is actually outside an Air Force base too, aren't you, Joe? And again, he will be answering here. No owls right now. Okay. I believe Joe is near an Air Force base though, or a military base at least, if I remember right. So yeah, Graham saying he thought that's what he was doing till you and Donna told him different.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of a natural at astral, and because of his level of education in it at this point, we pretty much ask him not to astral right now. We're training him in shielding and protection, and I've kind of run by him. He might want to take the class, and he's interested in helping out with the team and all because he could be an asset to us. And it's now started really opened up, so he's got a lot of learning to do, and so does Crystal. Crystal is learning to astral, can leave her body, but we, leaving it at her room or her house right now, and then we try to come and be present some with her, to make sure she doesn't encounter anything she's not ready for.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's cool is, folks, what we notice is a lot of our clients, and you do the math at 5 clients a day times 365 days a year, 24/7. A lot of them, well, once we get done with their case, they want to join the team, and that's great.
Yeah.
Even the boots on ground, we have clients that we've gone to their house and they want to join the team, and I tell them, you want to join the team, you must go through training. And on that, on the 8th, we're starting our Paranormal 101. We're going to talk about code of conduct. We're going to talk about the dangers of the paranormal, Forest Moon Paranormal's capabilities, and whatnot. And once they've taken that class, in November 12th, I think, it's the second Sunday of the month, 2 p.m., Annie's Pizza. But our second class will be straight protection, shielding, grounding, herbs and stones that you can use for protection, and basic protection in the paranormal. And once you've taken those 2 classes, I have no problem with people coming on boots on ground cases, because everything else is a learning experience. But the first 2 classes are the nuts and bolts that you need to know to be safe, and how we operate on this team. So to me, code of conduct is important, as well as the protection side. So ideally, we'll get more boots on ground members. And let's see, we've got more questions coming in. So yeah, and Izzy's in the chat room talking. Like she's saying in the chat room, because I know not all of our listeners go to chat. That's why I have to always reiterate what the chat room's saying as well, because not everyone goes to the chat room. But our passing rate for the astral team, for the astral class that we teach, is about 50%. We do have a 50% drop rate. One, people find out it's not for them. We've actually had team members leave the astral team because they didn't like the combat side. They are more healers. They are more into the peace side of things. It's not for everybody. You also have to be able to hold a shield. And we've tested the team. Your shielding should be second nature. You shouldn't even have to think about your shielding. If you have to think about your shielding, you're no good in combat, because your focus is going to be dropped on, oh my God, I have to keep my shielding up, let alone to hold a sword, to hold any kind of weaponry that you project while you're in astral. Your shielding is going to fall. It's going to be weak, and you're going to be the weak link of the team.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so Izzy's
Shielding
going
with
to answer questions right now. And yeah, Andy, it can be the Wild West, for sure. So shielding is one of the keys to defense mechanisms of our astral team. Part of the protocols we have in place.
usually soon after they're on the team, we teach them to heavily cloak too, to where they're just like invisible, to become invisible. Because I had to do that during the time we had this entity with the curse, the generational curse. It was stalking me for 2 days, and then I think Donna was trying to really protect me, but I was pretty cloaked, and then it got through to her. So we do have risks that we might get attacked. It can happen and does, but we know that, and it's okay. We get through it. But cloaking's another thing with certain types of things we're dealing with, especially demons. And sometimes aliens, they cloak a lot.
Yeah, we do encounter. Yeah, and Andy's in the chat. You can understand that combat's not for everyone.
No.
And that's fine. Everyone's got a place. We have the need for researchers, historians, that kind of thing. So not everyone has to be on astral combat.
Right. Healers. But they got to kind of still know how to shield and protect themselves.
Well, they don't even have. Yeah, and I'm not even talking about the astral side. They can be on Forest Moon Paranormal without being on the astral team.
Oh yeah.
So John's saying he remembers reading Bill Tompkins' book Selected by Extraterrestrials, and he said our part of the galaxy is basically the Wild West. I would agree with that. And there are some races that actually come here, watch humans for a minute, and leave, and want nothing to do with us. And I don't really blame them, not at all. Because personally, I don't. There's a lot of humans I don't care for. So, yeah. Now, I know you guys have talked to Sam a little bit. Is his are the Pleiadians? The Pleiadians are part of the consortium, I believe.
Yes. Yes, I'm sure they are, because he can bring in his warships, and he can bring in his helpers, and they're never turn on us. They're not trying to do anything, second-handedly or bad to us. They protect us. But yeah, he's pretty much let us know that he's here for us. He's real close to Donna, more so than me. I believe they may have a connection from something past going on there that, we may have passed in past lives or whatever. But he works fine with me. He's more technical. He's more, he shows more emotion to Donna.
Mm-hmm.
He gets angry at something, really angry if something messes with her. And he can show anger. He can show, I've seen him laugh. I've seen him, he doesn't, it's kind of still kind of, I don't know what the right word is. It's not like we can just crack up and start laughing. But he does have that emotion, caring emotions and stuff like that.
Okay, so Graham, are they the five? No, they are not. So the consortium is like a council of hundreds of races. I believe you're thinking of the Council of Five, which has nothing really. It's completely different than what the consortium is. The consortium is hundreds of races that are actually looking out for the well-being of humanity. They're kind of like the guardians, and they're not here to tell us what to do. It's called free will. They're here to make sure we don't destroy ourselves, but they're not going to fix our messes. Yeah, and Trip, if you go to the Forest Moon Paranormal Library, you'll find files on shielding and grounding. If they're not there, then I'll have to put them back in. But yeah, we do teach shielding and grounding in our protection class, which in time I plan on getting videoed and put up. I get that question a lot: is if I'm out of state or if I'm out of the area, how can I take the training with Forest Moon? We're working on that. I need to get somebody with a good video camera that can actually video our training. I do put our PowerPoints and all of our handouts and that kind of thing in the Forest Moon Library. Okay, if you go in the Forest Moon Paranormal group, you go to the file section. That's where the library's at. And I get that question a lot. So, are there any other types of shielding that are essential in combat if you're being attacked by a really powerful entity? You guys want to handle that?
Cloaking is one of them. And also we do shift shaping, different things I do, some of us, into something like an animal or something that's not a harmless animal, but it throws them off. We can actually shift shape, however you say it, into something else. I frequently use a cat or a snake. And
shapeshift.
Yeah, shapeshifting. That's what I do. I'm trying to get the hang right there. My tongue's twisted around itself tonight. But yes, I use that and cloaking and shielding and then combat, you know.
And Trip, no, not twerking, Trip, not twerking. No.
No, I've never seen anyone twerking over there yet.
Good question, Catherine. So Catherine's got an interesting, good question here. In shielding, can you also have pets used?
Could you repeat that?
In shielding, can you also have pets used?
Yes, we can use. Does she mean to shield the pets?
I think. Can you clarify that for us, Catherine?
We always shield the animals. We'll ask how many and what's there to protect them because they are bothered by entities and stuff. That bothers them. Sometimes we have to heal them.
Right.
If they have a bad experience.
Yeah, usually when the team goes in, the first thing they do is okay. So what? Yeah, the first thing they do usually is shield the clients, shield the kids, the pets, whatnot. But no, she wants to know if you use pets to attack.
No, not to attack. No, I don't. If I'm understanding your question right.
Yeah, to attack or protect, like say a totem animal maybe is better. Okay. She's talking about totem animals. So totem animal to me is the same as a spirit guide to an extent. So yeah, they do use spirit guides. Donna, for example, has dragons. Bonnie, don't you use dragons too, Bonnie?
I am getting a dragon. I think it keeps coming up visiting me. I have a black panther. I do use the black panther that will attack and can fight astrally. Yes, I got the question now. Yes, and a lot of people have dragons. You'll see wolves, different things. Wolves sometimes.
Right. Wolves common. Bears also common. They're common totems.
Yeah.
So Andy wants to know, wow, so as humans, we much more powerful in our astral body. Yes and no, Andy. Actually, you can be more powerful, but you can also be more vulnerable. Because you can die, and you will die physically if you get killed in astral. So it all depends on your skill, and it depends on how advanced you are. I hear crickets. Why do
you hear the crickets?
I hear crickets.
It sounds so small it doesn't have a McDonald's.
Crickets means there's dead air. Yeah. So let's see. I get so. So how many cases before you guys actually start getting drained to the point you can't go anymore?
I don't know. We've been pretty close. We've done probably 4 and 5 a day, and then some healing too. And those are pretty tough when you're doing that many a day. We've had some days when we've had probably 4 to 5 astral, and depends on how long we had to be there. It's a lot. Like I said, it's taken a lot out of the work having Sam, because it took a lot more for our minds to do what he can do just simply. And it does things were very draining, in combat. But once in a while, you'll have a case where it's a bad combat. You'll come out of it completely energized, and other times you come out of it just like completely wiped out. But we've gotten used to it. We've been doing so many cases this year, I think, and we say we had, I don't know how many exactly, but quite a few. But I don't know, we just recharge and keep going,
And that's the thing. It's hard to track how many cases we've actually done because of the fact that when we get a person, usually the first step, and Andy's saying, yeah, it's real life and death fighting. It can be. But the first step, anytime we get a case, I get a phone call, I get an email, I get a message from an admin on another group to a client. I usually reach out, make contact with the client. And if we have time, if it's a general case, it's not urgent, it's not a crisis, they will fill out a pre-investigative questionnaire. It's very extensive. But to be honest with you, especially of late in the last 2-3 months, if it's a crisis case, we just jump in. We don't do the pre-investigative questionnaire, and that's actually how we track the history. It's how we track numbers, how many cases we've done, that kind of thing. So we can't give you an accurate count of how many cases we've done. I can guarantee it's been in the hundreds.
Yeah.
But you know, and like I've explained before, we have 8,500 people in Forest Moon Paranormal, and I would be willing to say it's a low number if I say 5% of them are clients or prior clients that we've helped that stay in the group. And if you take 5% of 8,500, you're talking at least 400 people.
Yeah.
And again, I would say that's a low number.
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to do is have the astral team come in once a month.
All right.
And talk on S4. That way we get questions about astral all the time and about what the astral team does all the time. So we're going to make this a regular feature in S4 is having the astral team come in.
All right. That sounds good.
But we're going to wrap up the show as normal. It is a shorter show. I understand that because of the fact that, well, frankly, technology sucks sometimes. And but we're going to keep on schedule and wrap up as normal. So we have about 9 minutes. Anything you guys want to add?
Well, we're there for anybody watching that needs us. We're helping train people. People, until you get a class, have a need or feel they want to learn some shielding and stuff, they can also contact me and Donna Cunningham. We work with quite a few people all the time, and they move on different levels, and they may not choose to stay in and do what we're doing, but there may be a medium, they might be another paranormal investigator, somebody that wants to, that has involvement with spirit, but they had attacks. So whatever the case may be, education is we do a lot of that, probably 50% education on top of the actual cases too.
Well, and that's the thing, and that is one good point that you bring up is if we have clients, we get this a lot, where you have clients that you educate, you teach them what they need to do, you teach them how to shield, you teach them how to smudge, how to clear. If they don't follow through and they come back to us a week or a couple of days later and have another problem, we might handle that a second time. But if they're not listening, then we do draw the line. And Crystal wants to know, can entities actually go to try to find your body when you're in astral to attack you? Yes, they can, but I'll let you guys handle that one.
Basically, the entities don't usually come after us, but unless they're charging a curse like something that we recently had. But usually it's a demonic type of thing that really comes after us. And the aliens, I think that they actually watch us a lot closer these days. I don't know what Eric thinks about that, but I think that they made their appearance here the other night, made their appearance over your way the other night. I think Markham might have had some contact with some following him. But then they're easily, we can get them back and get guards on everybody, and so. But yeah, did I answer that correctly?
No, yeah, you're fine. Yes, they can track you. They can follow you. They will try to track you while you're astral. That can happen. They can follow your energy tie back to you. But that is that's one reason that we have the team come to headquarters, touch base here, and then go to the case, come back to headquarters, so that they can't follow you back to the body. That's one of our safety protocols that we have in place. And that's the reason for that.
Yeah.
So for the listeners that haven't heard of us, Forest Moon Paranormal can be found on Facebook. Just go look for Forest Moon Paranormal Group, not the page. The page, we don't check a whole lot. We do check it, but you're going to learn more and get more help from the group than you will. One of the things we are planning this year is getting an actual website up as well, besides the Facebook. That's one thing my mate's going to be working on. So yeah, a trip. Markham did mention he had something come back. Water washed away his salt barrier. Not really sure what you're talking about. I do know Markham had experiences at Mount Shasta when he was on his way home.
Mount Shasta.
Yeah. Heard a little bit about that. I also heard him and Elizabeth both saw lights in the sky over Nevada desert. So, and that led to my question last night on the Spaced Out Radio Roundtable: is that does it seem like UFOs are on the rise? And yes and no. I think a lot of it is more people have their eyes to the sky. So I would agree with that. So in closing, if you need help, come find the group. If you're just curious about the paranormal, come find the group. If you're curious about conspiracies, come find the group. We talk conspiracies too, especially here on S4. So in closing, S4 is an affiliate of Spaced Out Radio and KTLK The Fringe. Go check them out, www.spacedoutradio.com, and go look for KTLK The Fringe. And we'll talk to you all next week. Thanks for coming on the show, guys.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Graham, Crystal, everybody, Andy. Hello, Joe, all of you.
And y'all have a great night, a great week, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.